Welcome back to The Circle, your go-to source for insightful discussions and helpful tips. In today's video, we're diving into the topic of emotional eating. When we think about improving our health or managing our weight, dieting is often the first thing that comes to mind. But what if I told you that diets don't work for most people in the long run? There are several reasons for this, including the fact that diets can create a constant battle with food in our own bodies. That's where the concept of intuitive eating comes in. Intuitive eating is about breaking free from diet mentality, fostering a positive relationship with food in our bodies, and rejecting rigid rules about good and bad foods. It's been shown to help individuals recover from eating disorders and achieve a healthier BMI. Demystifying emotional eating. Emotional eating is like that old friend who shows up whenever you're feeling down, stressed, or overwhelmed. It's when you turn to food for comfort as a way to cope with your emotions. The science behind it. Why do we find solace in a bag of chips or a pint of ice cream when our emotions are in turmoil? It's because our bodies have a built-in connection between food and emotions. When we eat it, it triggers our reward system in our brains, releasing chemicals that make us feel better. It's like a warm, comforting hug for your brain. The red flags of excessive emotional eating. While the occasional indulgence is perfectly fine, there are times when emotional eating can spiral out of control. It's a concern when it becomes your go-to way of dealing with emotions, especially when it doesn't address the underlying issues causing those feelings. The emotional eating roller coaster. For some, emotional eating can become a roller coaster of guilt and shame. This happens when you recognize that you're not really resolving your emotional struggles with food, but instead, you're adding extra layers of emotional complexity. Triggers for emotional eating. Emotional eating can be triggered by a wide range of external and internal factors, including work stress. Demanding jobs and work-related pressures can often lead to reaching for comfort foods. Financial worries. Money concerns can create emotional distress that leads to eating for comfort. Health issues. Dealing with health problems can be emotionally taxing, leading some to turn to food. Relationship struggles. Difficulties in personal relationships can be emotionally challenging and triggering. Dieting history. Those who have a history of restrictive diets or frequent dieting are most likely to engage in emotional eating. Internal causes of emotional eating. Some internal factors that can contribute to emotional eating include lack of introspective awareness. Not being fully aware of your own emotions and not realizing how you feel can lead to emotional eating. Alexithymia. This is a term for the inability to understand, process, or describe emotions. People with alexithymia may use food as a way to cope. Emotion dysregulation. Some individuals struggle with managing their emotions effectively, leading to emotional eating. Reversed HPA stress axis. This refers to an underactive cortisol response to stress, which can increase the likelihood of turning to food for comfort. If you love the video so far and resonate with the content, please leave a comment below. We'd love to hear from you. Is emotional eating an eating disorder? Emotional eating by itself is not classified as an eating disorder. However, it can be a sign of disordered eating patterns that may eventually lead to the development of an eating disorder. Disordered eating behaviors can include rigid food choices, frequent dieting, and eating in response to emotions rather than physical hunger. Why food as a coping mechanism? There are several reasons why food becomes a common way to cope with emotions. Dopamine release. Eating releases dopamine, a brain chemical that makes us feel good. This can provide a temporary sense of relief from emotional distress. Habits and routines. We often develop habits and routines with food. If you frequently turn to food during stressful times, it can become an automatic response. Availability. Food is readily available and legal, making it an easily accessible coping mechanism. Societal influences. Messages and images about food in our culture can increase our desire to eat, especially when we're feeling emotionally overwhelmed. Solutions for managing emotional eating. Number 1. Build self-awareness. Start by becoming more aware of your emotions and the triggers that lead to emotional eating. Keep a journal to track your feelings and the times when you tend to eat emotionally. Number 2. Alternative coping strategies. identify healthier ways to cope with your emotions. These might include exercise. Physical activity can be an excellent stress reliever. Deep breathing and meditation. These techniques can help you calm your mind, manage stress, and understand the root cause of your problems. Social connection. Talking to a friend or a loved one can provide emotional support. Engage in hobbies. Pursuing activities that you enjoy can help you take your mind off emotional eating. Number 3. Practice mindful eating. When you choose to eat, practice mindful eating. Pay close attention to the sensory experience of your food. Focus on the taste, texture, and aroma of each bite. Eating mindfully can help you savor your food and be more attuned to your body's cues of hunger and fullness. Number 4. Create a support system. Share your journey with friends or family members who can provide encouragement and help keep you accountable in your efforts to manage emotional eating. Number 5. Seek professional help. If emotional eating is deeply ingrained in your life and is causing significant distress, consider reaching out to a therapist or counselor who specializes in emotional eating. They can provide guidance and support tailored to your specific needs. Number 6. Modify your environment. Make your environment supportive of your goals. Remove or limit access to foods you tend to overindulge in when you're emotionally eating. Replace them with healthier options. Number 7. Understand emotional hunger versus physical hunger. Learn to differentiate between emotional hunger and physical hunger. Emotional hunger often comes on suddenly, while physical hunger develops gradually. Emotional hunger typically craves specific comfort foods, whereas physical hunger is more open to various options. Number 8. Be kind to yourself. Remember that managing emotional eating is a process and setbacks may occur. Be compassionate with yourself and avoid self-criticism. Each day is a new opportunity to make positive choices. Incorporating solutions into your life. Start by selecting 1 or 2 strategies that resonate with you and gradually integrate them into your daily routine. Over time, as you become more accustomed to healthier coping mechanisms and mindful eating practices, you'll find that emotional eating becomes less automatic and you'll be better equipped to manage your emotions in a balanced way. You deserve to have a healthy relationship with both your emotions and your food. By implementing these solutions, you're taking proactive steps towards achieving that balance and finding better ways to cope with life's challenges. Thanks for joining us in this video. If you resonate with our content, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with your friends. Remember, small changes can make a big difference. Thank you, and we'll see you in the next video.